a very uneven edge or an uneven finish. So this is the reason we have closed it, because if you try to loft two very uneven curves, it will split at the tangents and you won't have a clear surface to extrude or work with. That is the reason you will always join all the edges. You will make it a closed boundary. You will make it as a polyline, in short. So since this is a closed boundary, we will use the command patch so that we have a surface. The command is patch. So now there are portions which are coming out of the boundary again, something similar which happened when we were working with the site model as well. So we'll use the command trim again. The cutting object is the boundary of your river. Enter objects to trim, extra surface. Now you have a surface. Now you have a surface for your river. Now we'll move it to water layer. So now the thing is, to work for so when you are trying to do Boolean differences, make sure that there is, so imagine in this case, if you want to create a ditch of 4 meter, you want the depth of the water body to be 4 meter. Make sure you have 4 meters of depth inside going inside the surface, and make sure you have at least a part of the surface outside the poly surface as well. So in this case, when we offset it to 4 meters, 4 meters of surface was inside the site as well, and it was outside as well. So this is the minimum criteria for Boolean difference. If you have it only going inside and you try to run the Boolean difference won't work. Your operation will fail. Your Boolean operation won't work. So make sure, that is the reason we used offset surface to extrude it on both the sides. Now we will use the command offset surface, offset SRF. I will select the river surface. I will press enter. When you press enter, you can see here, it will ask you an option for both sides. Please make sure it is on yes. If it's on no, it will offset, it will extrude only on one side. So now it's on yes. I have added the distance to 4 meters. I'll press enter. Now if you see, I will shift it to ghosted mode. If you see here, we have 4 meters going inside as well. So this is the criteria for to run a Boolean operation. Now what I'll do is, I'll use the command Boolean difference, for which the shortcut is BD. Now it will ask select surfaces or poly surfaces you want to subtract from. Now we are subtracting a mass from the side. So imagine we are taking out soil from the side. So the poly surfaces we are subtracting from will be the side, will be your base side. So we will select that, we will press enter. Now here it will ask you to subtract it with. So now this is the region we want to cut it with. So the poly surface of the river, this is what we will use to cut the side. So now this is the surface you use to subtract with. I will select the surface. You have your water body. So now this is looking like something you have dug it down. Just to give that feel of the water, what I am doing is you will have the curve again. So the thing in RHINO is, if you are working with a curve and you are creating a surface as poly surfaces, your base curve will be there, it won't get deleted. So how many times and how many options you run on, your base curve will still be there. So we'll use the command patch again. We'll trim it. Okay. We'll move it to the layer of water. We'll push it down. And you can assign any of your material here.
Transparency.
So here, to assign the transparency, here you can see a plus mark. This is to create a new material. To create a new material, here you can see something called as custom. If you go to custom, you will have all your transparencies, reflections and reflectivity, everything there. So we'll set the color to blue. We'll add this gloss finish, reflectivity and transparency. Now we'll go to rendered mode. We'll have this. I hope this is clear now. Please, we'll try this once. If you guys need anything, we'll be there.